Hola, this is LJZO724. Let me introduce my favorite horror movie ever, Evil Dead 2, also known as Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. This is a movie written and directed by Sam Raimi, stars Bruce Campbell and Sarah Berry, and in my opinion this is a very misunderstood movie, but it's a cult classic nonetheless. Now, just last week, I picked this up at Best Buy. It's the Blu-ray 25th anniversary edition release, so I was very excited to pick this up because I first found out about Evil Dead 2 and the Evil Dead franchise in general about a year and a half ago. It was during this whole horror movie marathon on AMC. And I saw Evil Dead 2 and I was like, holy crap, this is so over the top, it's awesome. So I found out the name of the movie, actually rented it from Blockbuster. Now I decided to own it. It's not really a long movie, it's only 84 minutes, but let me tell you one thing. Sam Raimi, who directed this movie, he did a great job at just having the most action-packed, awesome 84 minutes I've ever seen in my life. As I said, Bruce Campbell stars in this. He wasn't a well-known actor at the time he took the role as the character of Ash in this movie, but he really does shine in this film. And basically what Evil Dead 2 is about, it's about a guy named Ash who is taking his girlfriend, who I'm not sure what the name of his girlfriend is, but they're going to this cabin, isolated cabin, and they're just going to spend a nice vacation there. So anyway, turns out there's a thing called the Book of the Dead. And what happens is there was a scientist who discovered this Book of the Dead in a tomb or something. He went to the cabin, recited some of the incantations on tape, and what ended up happening was, once he recited, all these evil spirits came out, possessed his wife. He had to kill his wife, and who knows where he is. But anyway, Ash and his girlfriend go to this cabin. They find the doctor's tape recorder. They play it. All the incantations start playing. Yeah, and guess what? The evil spirits come back in full force. Ash's girlfriend gets possessed. He has to kill her, and the rest of the film is just an all-out struggle between life and death. I'm not even kidding. And even in some parts of the film, Ash gets possessed himself. But the thing is, these evil spirits can only come out at night, which you may think that sounds kind of cheesy, but still interesting. And later in the film, the doctor's daughter and her husband and this one hillbilly guy and his wife, they eventually all culminate at this one cabin trying to survive these paranormal forces that are trying to possess them and take over the cabin. I just love this movie because the thing that's awesome about this is an extremely low-budget film. So you really, watching this, you can see all the little, sort of homemade-esque special effects, stop-motion special effects. That just really adds to the humbleness of this film. I just absolutely love this, and this Blu-ray release right here has got to be the best picture and audio transition of this film that I've ever seen. This 25th anniversary edition is great. And also, to get more bang for your buck, they add a whole host. I don't know if you can see this, but right there, in the red, a whole host of special features on this disc. It is so intriguing because it takes you into the mind of the actors, shows what they did for the special effects. All that hard work they put in on such a low budget is just phenomenal to think they were able to make this work. It's just absolutely great. And as I said, yes, this is the second movie in the Evil Dead franchise. The first movie, just called Evil Dead, it is different because it starts with Ash going to the cabin with like 4 or 5 other friends. So this movie right here, Evil Dead 2, it's interesting. It could be a sequel, but it could also be a movie on its own. Personally, I don't own the first film. I'm happy with this because the nice thing with this film, it offers you a little recap in the beginning of what happened in the first movie. Then it goes into this movie. And the way this movie ends, if you've seen it, you know what I'm saying. The way this movie ends, it ends on sort of a cliffhanger ending. And yes, there is a third movie in this franchise, Evil Dead Army of Darkness, which I've heard reviews for that. I hear that sucks. So I haven't seen it, and I don't really plan to because I hear that just totally messes up all the details, information about Ash and his adventures and fight against the spirits. I just hear the third movie messes it up. If you're a fan of Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, you probably won't like the third one. So personally, I just like to pretend the third movie doesn't even exist, and the first movie does exist, but this is just way better because this is a great standalone movie. I mean, it has the recap from the first, and the way the cliffhanger ending is, I can just pretend that's the way the whole franchise ends, and it's also a satisfying ending. So I just love this movie. Yeah, this is my favorite horror movie. The first Evil Dead film relied heavily on suspense. This is a complete transition. This relies heavily on over-the-top blood, gore, and just over-the-top action. I mean, this is seriously the scariest / funniest movie I've ever seen. Yeah, scary and funny meet together in this one film, and it plays out so great. It may be hard to understand how scary and funny can work in one film, but this really does work. You need to check this out. Yeah, there's so much blood in it, it's just over the top. There's like red blood, purple blood, green blood, yellow blood, red blood, and it's just so ridiculous. If you've seen this, you know what I mean by eyeball flying into a unsuspecting receptacle. If you know what I'm saying by that, if you've seen the movie, that has got to be the funniest moment in this whole franchise. So yeah, Evil Dead 2, check this out. And yeah, I'm gonna break the scale. 6 out of 5 for Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. 6 out of 5. It's the first time I've ever gone over a 5 out of 5, but I'm doing it now, and it's totally worth it. If you watch it, you'll see why. And if you're one of those people who isn't really into the whole horror genre, don't check this out, because to enjoy this movie, you really have to appreciate the horror genre for what it is. I've had friends see this film. They aren't really into horror in the first place. They see it and they're like, wow, it's crap. It's not even scary, and the crummy special effects. You really gotta be a fan of horror to enjoy this. But once you enjoy this, you just get hooked, and it is a great movie. So yeah, if you don't own this 25th Anniversary Edition, I wholly suggest you check this out, because the special effects are just absolutely great. So yes, thank you very much. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and peace.